That was a banger there, bud.
Yeah, banger.
Was that everything you thought it was going to be?
I would have liked to pitch more of a shutout, but I got hit by a few shots. But, you know, Lineker's one of the best guys in the world. He's beaten some extremely tough guys. The only guy that he's lost to recently is TJ, and he's no longer the champ. So I knew that I was going to take some shots. I knew that I was better deep down in my heart, and I knew that our game plan was better. I really think that I'm the best in the world. I prove it to myself every time that I come in the cage. It wasn't a perfect fight, but I think when you're fighting Lineker, it was about as close to perfect as you can get.
You told me the other day you knew he's going to throw some heavy stuff. And if he catches you with it, it could, catches anybody with it, could be lights out pretty quick. What do those look like when they're coming at you? Because as you're watching them on TV back here, I mean, he's slinging, man.
Yeah, he was slinging. It's not always a bad thing, though, you know. Like, I saw all of the shots that he was throwing. I have very good reflexes. That's kind of what separates me a little bit from other guys, too. I could see everything. To other people, maybe they're a little bit faster, but I have very good reflexes. I was able to get out of the way on a few of them and make him swing very big and make him miss really big, which I think is maybe one of the deciders in the split decision. When you make someone miss that big, it doesn't look very good, and I was able to counter afterwards a lot of the time too. So, I mean, I stuck to the game plan relentlessly. I knew that it was going to get really hectic in there. A couple of those body shots at the end hurt, but as far as everything else goes, I don't think I was too hurt or out on my feet or anything at any point in there.
When it gets to the end, it's going to the judges. You're waiting for Bruce to read it off. How confident were you that everything was going to be okay?
I don't know, man. You know, like when I'm in there, like I'm as present as can be. I knew that I was doing everything right as far as sticking to the game plan that we had set up. It's hard to tell when you're not watching it. I would like to go back and watch it, especially with the reaction of the crowd. But, you know, if that fight's in Denver, everyone cheers. Because it was in Fort Lauderdale, everyone booed. You know, it is what it is. I got the win, and that's important, obviously. But it is what it is, you know.
I was going to ask you about that. You know, nobody wants to hear boos like that. Does that, as you're walking away, does that make you sit there and go, geez, man, did everybody else see something that two of these three guys didn't see?
I feel a little bit that way, to be honest. I got to watch it again, you know. But like I said, I'm in Denver, everyone cheers. I'm in Fort Lauderdale, everyone's booing. So it's okay. It's the name of the game. Everyone wants to see the home guy win. I noticed, too, when he was walking out, everyone was cheering. No one made any noise for me. So that's the name of the game, you know. That's part of the sport. Yeah.
When you go back to watch it, you're going to see some pretty gnarly stuff with the blood. Have you heard about it yet?
I felt it fly out of my nose, you mean, when he choked me?
It was pretty radical, dude.
Yeah. Well, I think he was choking me in a way where I couldn't breathe out of my mouth, so everything had to come out of my nose. Yeah, that was pretty gross for me, too.
Talk about, you know, what you want next and how big this one was, because obviously, like we said, he won 8 of 9 or whatever it was, and the only loss was to TJ.
Yeah.
Just about the hottest guy going in the division,
yeah.
and you took care of him.
Yeah. I'm the best, man. You know, like stylistically, how much love I put into my craft, how hard I work, just an eye for the sport in general. I think that I'm the best. So whoever needs to be fought ahead of me in order for me to get to the belt is cool with me. I'm going to work just one fight at a time. I'm going to keep getting better every single day. That's where I keep my focus. But the division's in a weird spot right now, and anything can happen. I have on my goals board that I want the belt in 2020, but it's looking like it might happen a little bit earlier if I keep playing things smart.
So 2020 is your goal?
That was the goal, man, but things move fast in the UFC, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I like that it's, like, realistic. I mean, because you hear guys all the time in, like, you know, June say, I'm going to win the title by the end of the year, and we all go, come on, man. We know how this sport works.
Yeah, no. I have a very realistic view of where I am and the things I need to improve on and this and that. I'm a very grounded guy, and I keep it real, and I call it how it is. And 2020 was my goal, but things are moving much faster. TJ's out now, so who knows? You know, 2019. I know that whenever the UFC wants to give me the belt, I'm here to take it.
You had 5 straight finishes, I think, coming into this one, right? So
6.
6 straight.
Uh-huh.
So you go the distance. I mean, not what you wanted probably, but does it feel good to go the distance?
Oh yeah, I think that a fight like that is very important. I landed as hard and as clean a shots as I think I could have. I hit him with a couple really nasty knees. I hit him with a couple overhands that, like, my hand is hurting. I don't think it's broke, but it's hurting. I cracked him, dude, and like he wouldn't fall over, and a lot of the guys will. But that's John Lineker, man. You know, like, you go in and you don't get an easy fight against John. And I'm really blessed that I got to have that fight underneath my belt, a real war where I had to face some adversity in there. And I really had to dig deep, especially after a few of those body shots, not show any pain. I had to be a warrior, and that's what I was.
We talked Thursday about the height difference and how sort of drastic it was. And you mentioned that it can be just as difficult for you fighting the shorter guy as it is for the shorter guy fighting the much taller guy. How did that feel once you were in there with him, and did it sort of feel the way you thought it was going to?
Yeah, it was much more in my favor, I would say. It's a little bit awkward when you have to punch down at shorter guys, but John's arms seemed a little bit longer. He didn't seem as short when we were in there, but I was controlling the range almost the entire time, you know, except for a couple times where he rushed in. I kept my guard high. I made the adjustments that I needed to make. Like I said, man, like, when you're fighting a guy like John Lineker, pitching a shutout's very hard. I got as close as I think that anyone can kind of get to. Like I said, the last guy that he lost to was a champ. The champ is out now, so I'm up there now, you know. Like, this is a really big one for me.
When Bruce read it off and you know, he knew that you had won, he seemed not super upset about it. He seemed like he understood. Does that make sense? The look on his face wasn't one of disgust and like storming out. Did you guys talk at all right after the decision was announced? Did you guys say anything to each other?
He said thank you, but you know what? I think I would have maybe reacted the same way. You know, it's hard to tell when you're in there of what looks like is scoring hard and what's not. I believe that, well, I know for sure that I put everything that I could into that fight. I did everything that I could. I fought with everything that I had, and I think that John felt the same way. And when you don't get your hand raised and you can say that you fought as hard as you could, I think that's what he did, that's what I did. So if you don't get your hand raised on the night where you fought as hard as you can, what can you do, man?
And getting back in there just dependent upon the hand and how it feels.
As many fights as I can get, man.
Yeah.
You know, we'll play it smart. I'll talk to my coaches. I don't make any of the decisions in the who do I have next column. You know, I put all of that on my coach's shoulders. My job is to, hey, we're fighting this person on this date, and I go in and I fight him.